I'm Catherine Dow. It's Wednesday, May 27th. Today, entering a new era?
Total crime severity decreased significantly in 2025.
Details on the new data from police showing a significant drop in a number of types of crime. Also today, not bearing it. Why a Manitoba bear rescue is taking a rural municipality to court. Plus, breaking down barriers.
In my role as city councilor,
it's going to allow us to move into hot meals, right?
How a new partnership in the Seven Oaks School Division is set to fuel students. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Winnipeg is starting to move the needle on violent crime. That's according to the Winnipeg Police Service's annual statistical report released just today. It shows a significant drop in a number of types of crime, including homicides and robberies. With me now to break down this data, I'm joined live by CTV's Joseph Bernacki. So, Joseph, what were some of the big takeaways?
Well, Catherine, as you mentioned, violent crimes trended downward with an overall 4.8% drop. That's not the only category where we improved. Police saw an almost 49% drop in homicides, bringing last year's total to 22. There were also fewer robberies, all assaults, and reports of uttering threats. As for weapon-related offenses, bear spray crimes had a modest increase, but firearms and knife crimes both dipped. Winnipeg Police Service say the report shows encouraging progress.
Total crime severity decreased significantly in 2025. Driven by one of the largest decreases in violent crime severity in recent history. Both violent crime volume and severity decreased for the second consecutive year.
As for youth crimes, violent ones were down 16%.
Well, those are certainly some positive takeaways. Were there any areas where we were trending in the other direction?
Yes, Catherine. Unfortunately, it wasn't all positive. Extortion and kidnapping forcible confinement saw an upswing. Criminal harassment particularly increased a staggering 65%. CTV's Jeff Keel will have more on the overall crime picture in our city coming up at CTV News at 6.
All right. Thanks for this, Joseph. The province has issued a wildfire alert for a region in the northern Interlake. The Emergency Management Organization says a wildfire was reported yesterday near Easterville and Chemawawin Cree Nation. Online wildfire monitoring services show flames are roughly 1.5 kilometers southwest of Easterville. However, the province says there is currently no threat to lives or homes. The wildfire is an estimated 412 hectares in size. Now, according to the province's latest wildfire report, there were 7 fires burning across the province as of Tuesday. Only one was deemed out of control, and that is that fire by Easterville. Back in Winnipeg, where we're learning the city has collected only a fraction of the $3.5 million in fines issued to owners of vacant properties that have caught fire over the past 3.5 years.
We want to keep these property owners held accountable. Otherwise, we're going to continue to see fires, derelict, and vacant homes in our community.
According to data from the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service, the city has only recouped around $232,000 in partial or full payments from 14 out of the 150 outstanding invoices, leaving more than $3.82 million unpaid. Unpaid accounts are referred to the city's collection services, but the data suggests the existing repayment system is not working. Mayor Scott Gillingham says council wants the provincial government to amend legislation that would allow the city to recover the outstanding fees through property taxes.
Of course, we have to be prudent as well as a city. We've got to weigh out the cost of going to court, versus the cost of what we may recover through the fines that we've levied on properties. It would make it a lot easier if the legislation could be changed as we requested, because then we can take any of those unpaid fines and we could put that onto people's property tax bills like we do with water and waste fines.
According to the city, the public service submitted a formal request to the province in the fall of 2024. That was to amend that legislation, but they haven't received a response. In a statement to CTV News, a provincial spokesperson says the issue is still under discussion. Under current bylaws, the city can fine owners more than $10,000 the first time a vacant building goes up in flames, scaling to more than $51,000 for a fourth incident. A Manitoba bear rescue is taking a rural municipality to court over its approval of a nearby quarry. Manitoba Bear Rehabilitation Centre and its owners Judith and Roger Stearns filed an application with the Court of King's Bench on May 22nd. They allege the quarry's operation threatens their rescue's ability to function, citing blasting vibration, noise, dust, and other factors. They further allege the municipality of Rockwood approved extraction applications without fully disclosing what drove the decision, which it says denied the rescue a fair chance to respond. The RM of Rockwood, along with the companies behind the quarry and others, are named as defendants. The RM has declined to comment, citing the ongoing lawsuit. The companies involved have not yet responded to our request for comments, and no statements of defense have been filed, and the claims have not yet been tested in court. Fire and demolition crews were on scene following a significant fire in the Mission Industrial Area earlier today. City says just after 6 a.m. this morning, firefighters returning from a different call spotted smoke. When they followed it to the 500 block of Messier Street, crews found shipping containers and industrial equipment ablaze. Parts of Archibald Street were shut down as a precaution because of the nearby rail lines. The fire was brought under control half an hour later. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Potholes, litter, and sidewalk cracks are the usual sign Winnipeg is waking up after another long winter. That's why the city's neighborhood action team is springing back into action. City crews dressed in green uniforms like the ones on your screen will be spending 4 weeks in each ward. 5 teams made up of 7 workers will fix broken street signs, clear branches, or any other neighborhood concerns you might contact 311 about. If you haven't called or filed an online report, you can hand crews that to-do list in person.
When you see them, feel free to say hi, thank them for the work they do, or for sure, add to their list of things to do in the neighborhood.
More details on what the team can do, how to submit requests, and when crews are in your area can be found on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. CTV weather specialist Colleen Brady joins us now with the first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. We talk about it's a sign of spring coming, but we blasted past spring in my estimation, Colleen. It's feeling like true summer out there. Wow.
Yeah, it feels like this is a sign of, like, you know, late July, early August. Heat. And if it's hot enough for you now, just wait. It's going to get even hotter. So much so that Environment Canada has issued a yellow warning for heat for much of the prairie provinces, including much of Manitoba, including the city of Winnipeg. Coming up, I'll show you just how warm it's going to get, not just during the day, but overnight, and how long this heat streak is going to last coming up. But for now, let's take a look through the CTV Live Eye. It is brought to you by Bath Fitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. In Winnipeg right now, under that blue sky, it is 27 degrees. Winds coming from the east-northeast at 21 kilometers an hour, with wind gusts up to 40. The pressure is dropping, and the humidity right now is 23%. Out on the roads on this Wednesday afternoon, a live look at Notre Dame. It doesn't look like anything unusual is happening there, just peak of the rush hour right now.
Diversion tactics. Why CAA is warning about a rise in distraction thefts. Those details coming up after the break. Taking a look at the markets, crude oil lost over $5. The loonie slipped to 72.30 cents U.S. Gold futures closed $53 lower. The TSX fell 241 points. The Dow Jones added 182 points, and the Nasdaq was up 18 points. As food insecurity is spiking among Canadian families, a new partnership in the Seven Oaks School Division will help expand meal programs to break down barriers for its students.
It's going to allow us to move into hot meals, right? And that'll be both at breakfast and at lunchtime. And depending on how this moves along, at supper time also.
That's part of the plan the division has for the $1.5 million gift it has received from the Schroeder Foundation. Initial investments include building a universal food program kitchen and redeveloping culinary classrooms at Garden City Collegiate. Support to provide up to 160 weekly food hampers and other wraparound supports.
We find out students who are missing school quite a bit, and we have a team of individuals who work with those kids, go out into the community to meet with their families, and really find ways to support them 24/7.
Upgrades will begin in June to be ready for the expanded food program in September. Hampers will begin this summer. Just became easier for folks living in Brandon to check out what projects are underway across the city. The city has just unveiled its online capital project dashboard. It features a list of projects that are currently on offer and offers some details on their timeline and construction phases. There's also a map residents can use to see where projects are happening. It currently lists 38 projects ranging from water main replacements to new roundabouts to sidewalk replacements. Starting Saturday, travelers who've been to Ebola-affected regions will have to self-isolate for 21 days. That's according to the federal government.
While the health risk to Canadians from Ebola remains low, we are putting forward a precautionary approach to ensure the safety and security of Canadians.
Travelers from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan will need to undergo a health assessment when they arrive in Canada. They will also need to provide details on how they're going to isolate. Those with symptoms will be taken to hospital. The government is also suspending immigration documents and applications from the affected countries. As the federal government looks to make more deals with partners other than the U.S., the Natural Resources Minister confirms plans are proceeding in an effort to supply liquefied natural gas to Germany.
This marks a major milestone for this project as it advances towards its final investment decision, its construction and production. Through this agreement, CFE will purchase 1 million tons per annum of LNG for up to 20 years, beginning in the early 2030s.
The gas will be shipped from the yet-to-be-built Silesom's plant and export terminal, planned for northern British Columbia. The project has regulatory approval, but the partners have yet to make a final investment decision, which would clear the way for construction to begin. CAA is warning drivers about an increase in distraction thefts. It says criminals are targeting drivers using a mix of distraction tactics and high-tech tools. Schemes often involve criminals approaching drivers who have parked in public spaces like parking lots or shopping centers and using electronic devices to capture their key fob signals. The scheme requires the key fob to be within range of the car it's connected to. CAA is reminding people to park in well-lit and busy areas, be wary of anyone who approaches, and to store key fobs in pouches that block signals. It's not quite Canada's game, but some people do take shuffleboard seriously.
Shuffle is similar to curling. I mean, not there, but you have to have your weight, you have to have strategy.
It's Canada versus the U.S. at the first ever Can-Am Shuffleboard Court Tournament in Alberta. Team Canada is represented by players from Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, and BC. This is a friendly rivalry with bragging rights on the line. The finals are on Friday. Get ready for a takedown when a live version of a smash hit film is hitting the stage in Winnipeg. We'll have all the danceable details coming up next. Back with your spotlight. A golden opportunity for K-pop Demon Hunter fans is coming to Centennial Concert Hall.
Brace yourself, Catherine. It's called K-Hunters The Show, and it is a live tribute to the hit animated film. audience members will be transported to Korea, where K-pop idols battle demons in order to save the world. At the high-energy stage production with it will feature songs, choreography, and characters which made the original a global phenomenon, to say the least. The takedown hits the stage on August 4th at 7 p.m. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 11 a.m. on Centennial Concert Hall's website.
If parents haven't enough, they get to see it live now.
That's right.
Great deal. Meanwhile, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is headed to Broadway for the first time.
Yeah, this is exciting. The 11-time Emmy winner will star in a revival of Other Desert Cities. Louis-Dreyfus, known for her roles on Seinfeld and Veep, stars as Polly alongside Broadway veterans Ed Harris, Allison Janney, and Lily Rabe. Her role was previously played by Stockard Channing back in 2012 when Other Desert Cities was nominated for a Tony Award for Best Play. The 16-week run at the Hudson Theater begins in October.
Now, his character on the show Ted Lasso's catchphrase is "football is life."
And now it seems like Cristo Fernandez is taking that adage to heart.
With my teammates since day one, they welcome me, they let me compete, they treated me like another player, and it's a great team. We have a great team. I've been here.
Fernandez, who plays a soccer player on TV, is now signed with an actual football club based in the U.S. He plays Danny Rojas in the popular TV series, and he's signed with USL Championship side El Paso Locomotive FC, which is in the second highest league in the U.S. Fernandez calls it a dream come true.
Well, I'm sure he can do it. It's going to be fun to watch.
Absolutely.
And maybe his Ted Lasso buddies will come to games.
I hope they do. They better.
No kidding. All right, thanks for that, Colleen.
You're welcome. Here is your primetime lineup for Wednesday night. It kicks off with MasterChef at 7. The Floor comes next at 8. Then catch three episodes of The Big Bang Theory starting at 9. It's all right here tonight on CTV. Here's a live look at the Norwood Bridge. I don't really see many cars right now crossing it. Oh, there's a few there, so it looks like traffic is moving very well through that stretch of the city. It is warm and windy. I will have your full details of your forecast coming up, including a look at that heat warning in just a couple minutes.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Dozens of drones fell out of the sky over Sydney's Darling Harbour during a popular light show. This was Monday night, excuse me, folks, I'm a mess. The big show was slowly derailed as the lit-up drones fell because of unforeseen technical difficulties. Nearly 90 of them fell, splashing into the water. A number of upcoming shows have been canceled.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Technical issues. Everything is fine.
I don't see any technical issues. Do you see any technical
Not at
issues?
all.
No.
Although maybe it's just the heat is getting to me, Colleen. Wow, we've had a stark difference from last week. It's a lot to adjust to.
Well, I was very appreciative that you filled in for me last week, but the weather was not at all like this, as you well know. We have to peel back the curtain a bit. We have a bit of a joke that I always have a tendency to leave Catherine with not so desirable weather to contend with. But boy, oh boy, have we totally flipped the script, and we've changed just like that. All of a sudden, it feels like spring is behind us, and we've moved right into the middle of summer with these conditions, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So as you can see, there's not much to show you on the satellite radar. An upper ridge of high pressure has created a heat dome over the prairies. So we have these very hot highs that are going to get even hotter, and very warm overnight lows. Essentially, that dome is trapping this warm air. So at night, it doesn't have anywhere to escape to. So that's why it's going to be very warm, not just during the day, but at night. To show you how quickly things can change, off the top of the show, the prairie provinces, for the most part, were under a yellow warning for heat. That has now changed in Saskatchewan. That's been upgraded to orange level, so it's a bit more serious, although any heat warning is serious, but that's how things are changing next door to the west of us, and some of that heat is going to be sliding east into Manitoba, enough that Environment Canada has triggered heat warnings for both the southern and northern halves of the province, or significant portions of, including the city of Winnipeg. Now, we have daytime highs over the next few days that will reach well into the 30s, and overnight lows that will only drop into those upper teens. Meanwhile, northern Manitoba, the threshold in terms of temperatures required to trigger a heat warning of any color aren't quite as high. but that stands to reason. But still, nonetheless, daytime highs in the upper 20s and overnight lows in the teens expected in these areas lighting up, including Norway House, Thompson, and areas closer to the border there, including Flin Flon and the Pas. Here's a look at why these temperatures skyrocketing into the upper 20s and low 30s across the south. Kenora to the east, 23 degrees. So temperatures not quite as hot there, but it's been a sunny day as well. A clear sky ahead tonight for that region. Back in Manitoba, you can see it's quite warm across the north too. Right now, everyone's in the low 20s. The exception being Churchill, although at 12 degrees, that's considerably warmer than it was yesterday when it was just single-digit territory. Now, again, you can see the influence of that ridge of high pressure. Not much is forming, although we did have some non-severe thunderstorms that clipped the southwest corner of the province this afternoon, but we always have that threat of that happening in these conditions, and increasingly so as we turn up the heat. We get into Thursday, speaking of which, temperatures going up into the mid-30s across southern Manitoba, including here in Winnipeg. And again, not much happening. Clear skies overnight, and into Friday we go, where the heat will just keep pumping into Manitoba. 16 is our overnight low tonight, mostly clear, winds out of the south at 20 kilometers an hour. 35 in the sun tomorrow, winds out of the south at 30. The UV index for Thursday is 8, or high as you might expect. Quick look at the long range forecast. You can see 35 on Friday, the weekend 32 degrees Saturday and Sunday, and throughout the forecast period, sunshine or a mix of sun and cloud, and those temperatures in the low 30s continue into at least Tuesday. Our first weather photo takes us out to the White Shell. A beautiful look there. That photo was sent in by Irene. Thank you for that one. And this next one is lovely too. That beautiful mallard duck hanging out north of Minnedosa. That photo is from Carol. Email us yours to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Skywatch Weather Pick of the Day brought to you by Provivo, Winnipeg's first and only longevity medicine clinic. Redefining health, performance, and aesthetics. Provivo.com.
Thanks, Colleen. Here's an unusual traffic jam. So this happened in a city in Mississippi. An alligator slowed things down big time when it ended up in an intersection. It cleared the road by using an SUV to slowly pull it away, something it wasn't so happy about. Luckily for now, the streets are indeed gator-free. This is why I don't live in Mississippi. This is terrifying.
Look at those chompers.
Oh my gosh, that's a big guy.
Big fella. Yeah.
Hopefully no gators on our roads today. All right, CTV Nationalist Sandy Ronaldo starts now. We'll see you back here for CTV News at 6.